Hey everybody, John the Other here, obviously. Now, before today, I didn't know that there was such a person as Bella Thorne. I think I'd probably heard the name before, but I probably thought that it was, if I thought about it at all, I thought it was a fictional character out of like 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight or maybe Harry Potter. But it turns out there is a person called Bella Thorne, although probably not her real name, that's her stage name, who was a Disney actress and has now gone on Onlyfans, which is a amateur porn platform where people can go masturbate on camera and idiots will pay them to watch. And Bella Thorne, Hollywood actor or actress, has allegedly earned $2 million or something in that order over a period of 1 week on the amateur porn platform Onlyfans. And this has caused a bit of an uproar and a backlash because apparently she didn't do any nudity or sexual stuff. She just pranced around, I don't know, in her normal clothes or in some sort of, well, not nude, right? No nudity, no. She didn't actually do porn. She went on a porn platform and earned $2 million based on the premise that she was going to do some sort of porn because that's what people wanted to see. Get out of we want to see all your squishy, fluffy bits. And that's not what she did. So there was a bit of a backlash. No, actually, sorry. That's not why the backlash. The backlash is apparently from other amateur porn producers, porn actor, like porn, I don't know, I'm trying to be nice. Amateur strippers, like amateur on-camera masturbators. Females who, shove a camera up their cooch and get a bunch of simps to pay them to do that. They're the ones angry, furiously angry at Bella Thorne because apparently OnlyFans has changed their payout. The platform has changed the terms and period and holding time of their payouts to the porn creators because of the gigantic amount of money that Bella Thorne made, or maybe I think there was quite a few chargebacks. People paid and didn't get what they paid for because she didn't get naked, didn't do any porn. So they reversed the charge on my credit card. And now the other amateur porn creators are in a furious rage because the platform is now more businesslike and doesn't pay them as fast and also holds the money longer and all that stuff. And that's where the anger is coming from, which I find incredibly funny. Not because a bunch of amateur sex worker, amateur prostitutes are butthurt. That is a little bit funny. What I find funny is that not a single person that I've seen so far is objecting to the fact that Bella Thorne made $2 million by fraud. She defrauded the people who paid all that money. Nobody's mad about that. Nobody's even talking about it. Oh no, it's inconvenient for other porn producers. You've caused a slight inconvenience to other, amateur masturbators. You've inconvenienced people who masturbate for money. We're not worried about the fact that you defrauded the platform, you defrauded your customers. That's not going to get talked about. And of course, this is not anything new, right? I mean, like, what's that other professional scammers and grifter? Anita Sarkeesian. Anita Sarkeesian has made a career of being a scammer. She pretended to be a gamer. It was evident that she wasn't. She created a bunch of nonsense about the representation of females in the video game world. She talked about, the threats. She's fabricated threats. And she enjoys quite a successful professional career as a paid public speaker. She gets invited on esteemed academic panels, despite the fact that her foundational activity as a commercial person is as a scam artist. Anita Sarkeesian is a grifter. And, I know I'm connecting widely disparate things here. I'm also going to talk about the feminist rhetoric that I have heard so much of over the years about whether a woman consents to sex, and is that then a sexual assault if she changes her mind afterwards. Now, I have been told in the most aggressive and vociferous terms many, many times, over and over and over, sometimes in online messaging, sometimes right to my face with a screaming person who spits the words, that if a woman participates in sexual activity voluntarily, maybe even initiates it, and then afterwards decides, for whatever reason, no, although I did that at the time, I now would like to take back my decision. I'm going to change that into involuntary assault on my person, in spite of the fact that I was completely voluntary and going along with it at the time. I've been shouted at that constitutes a proper and legal and formal and appropriate reversal of decision post facto. That must and should and is to be treated by the courts as violent assault, even if the person was, going along and happy and initiating and all that stuff, fully participating. And that suggests to me that what they're actually saying is that a female, and this is what they're saying, this is not what I'm saying, this is what I think they are, this is what I think the feminist rhetoric is actually saying, that a female's signaled participation, their word, I want this, and let's take sex out of the question, let's make it, I want a Big Mac, here's the whatever, $5 or whatever a Big Mac costs. I want a Big Mac hamburger. Here's the money. Afterwards, after I ate it, okay, I didn't like it so much. Give me the money back. Well, I ate it. Yeah, I know, but you forced me. Even though it was a voluntary transaction, now it's robbery. You stole my $5. That's what they're actually arguing. Which means that a woman under this thinking cannot be allowed to participate in a contract, any contract, a small informal contract, the contract that happens across a cash register when you buy a hamburger, a contract to agree to engage in any activity, that the whole concept of consent is a fraud, because what's actually being argued in the specific activism talking about consent, and this is usually always about sex, but I think it applies everywhere, as it's evident by the grifting of, what's her name, Bella Thorne, the grifting of Anita Sarkeesian, and the acceptance of this as normal. Our society seems to just say, this is okay, this is fine. Well, that means that women can't participate in contracts, which seems sort of draconian. It seems like a radical idea of stepping back into the Middle Ages, that a certain class of people have demonstrated or have canvassed to be recognized as incapable of participating in contracts. Now, it would end there, except that I've been listening to a lot of libertarian and political philosophy and libertarian economic philosophy. And I'm aware that in the Middle Ages, one of the standard forms of doing business was the offering of a bond, a worker's bond or a performance bond, so that anybody contracting to do anything, a mason contracting to build a wall, a carpenter contracting to build a house or an addition on your house, a farmer contracting to farm a field, or whatever, a painter contracting to paint a painting, would provide a bond of their performance. Meaning, if the contract was for $1,000, you might provide $1,000 up front, so that if you fail to do the job, the $1,000 that you were going to get paid is forfeit, because they didn't have the ability. And the reason they did that is they didn't have the ability for enforcement of contracts in the courts as we have now in our civil courts. And maybe that's where we're going back, because it seems like women not being able to participate in contracts, even informal contracts, meaning nobody will work with them, nobody will do business with them, that seems like a dead end for women. So maybe what is actually going to manifest is that women will have to be bonded, so that we get around this problem of the acceptance and the normalcy of fraud by women, which seems to be what the activism is pushing for. Now, Bella Thorne claims in her defrauding of the people on, Onlyfans, that what she was doing was trying to normalize and destigmatize sex work for everybody, and oopsie, and now I've accidentally inconvenienced sex workers. No, no, Bella. What you did is you earned $2 million. You weren't trying to do charity and destigmatize somebody else's sex work. You were just committing fraud for $2 million. The $2 million in your pocket, that's why you did it. Not to be some great noble angel of acceptance and normalizing of sex work. No, that's more fraud. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, as always. And thanks to the people who've subscribed to Patreon. Now, I've got a few people telling me in the comments thread of my last video that I should not use Patreon, or that I should at least add on PayPal, because a lot of you guys hate Patreon because of the scumweaselly behavior of the company, and I recognize that, and I will do it. So thank you for that good advice. As always, thanks for watching, and have a lovely, lovely day.